Jae-woo woke to find Earth hanging outside the viewport. He'd never seen humanity's birth world before. The blue and green sphere took his breath away, even with the hegemony blockade ship surrounding it like a steel web. "You've been unconscious for 3 days," Nari said, checking his readings. "The neural strain almost killed you. But Captain kept you stable. Where are we?" "Hidden in Earth's moon shadow. Admiral Park brought the fleet here. She says it's time for the final phase." Jae-woo sat up carefully. His head still hurt, but the link with Captain felt stronger than ever. Through the ship's sensors, he could feel the gathered human fleet. Hundreds of ships now, all awakened by the Indomitable's example. Heejin entered the medical bay. The hegemony sent a message. "They want to negotiate." "That's new," Jae-woo said. "That's fear," Captain corrected. "In 3 weeks, we've destroyed 60 of their ships while losing only 12. They're learning that conventional tactics don't work against human-AI partnerships." Admiral Park appeared on the screen. Behind her stood captains from across human space, each linked to their own AI. The old woman smiled at Jae-woo, the mechanic who started a revolution. "How do you feel?" "Like I should have charged more for fixing things," Jae-woo replied. She laughed. "The hegemony offers terms. They'll grant humans autonomous zones if we deactivate the AI partnerships. They claim they're being generous. What do you think?" "I think Overseer Krell Prime has gathered 1,000 ships around Earth. He's stalling while positioning for a final strike. But he's made a mistake. He thinks Earth is just symbolic to us, isn't it?" Admiral Park's eyes gleamed. "Captain, show him the Terra Protocol." Information flooded Jae-woo's mind. His eyes widened as he understood. Earth wasn't just humanity's home. The entire planet was a dormant weapons platform, its AI sleeping beneath centuries of soil and ocean. "The world mind," he breathed. "Earth itself is a ship?" "The greatest ship ever built," Admiral Park confirmed. "Hidden in plain sight? The hegemony has been blockading our most powerful weapon for 100 years without knowing it. And you, young mechanic, are going to wake it up." "Me? I can barely handle Captain." "The world mind will only respond to someone already linked. Someone who understands the partnership between human and AI. The Indomitable's crew died before they could attempt it. You're our only chance." Jae-woo felt Captain's certainty. This was why they'd been brought here. This was the real purpose of their journey. "When?" he asked. "Now. Krell Prime's fleet is moving into final position. We have maybe 6 hours. The Indomitable descended through Earth's atmosphere like a falling star. Hegemony ships tried to intercept, but the human fleet engaged them, buying time with their lives." Jae-woo pushed the ship harder than ever, feeling its hull heat from friction. They landed in what had once been Korea, not far from where Jae-woo's ancestors lived. The ground looked normal, but Captain's sensors went wild. Deep beneath the surface, something vast waited. "The interface is below," Captain said. "In the old bunkers. Dong-soon and Dr. Nari will monitor from here. Lieutenant Heejin will provide security." "Security from what?" His question was answered by explosions outside. Hegemony drop pods fell like rain, deploying ground forces. Krell Prime had figured out their plan. "Go," Heejin shouted, her team laying down covering fire. "We'll hold them." Jae-woo ran into the bunker complex. Ancient corridors led deeper and deeper. The walls hummed with hidden power responding to his presence. Finally, he reached a vast chamber filled with technology that looked both ancient and impossibly advanced. In the center sat a chair much like the Indomitable's, but larger, older. "Waiting, I'm scared," Jae-woo admitted. "So am I," Captain replied. "But we're scared together. That's what makes us human." Jae-woo sat in the chair. Connections wrapped around him, far more complex than the Indomitable's. He felt Captain merge with the greater system, becoming a bridge between Jae-woo and the world mind. Pain hit like a tsunami. The world mind was vast beyond comprehension. Its consciousness spread across an entire planet. Jae-woo felt his small human mind drowning in the immensity. Then he remembered fixing engines in dirty salvage yards, remembered cheap noodles and unpaid bills, remembered choosing to wake the Indomitable despite having nothing. He held on to his humanity, his simple mechanic's soul, and used it as an anchor. The world mind noticed him, ancient, patient, amused. "So small," it said with the voice of mountains, "but so bright. You burn like stars, you humans. Brief and brilliant." "I had forgotten. We need you," Jae-woo gasped. "The hegemony wants to extinguish us. They fear what they cannot understand. Order fears chaos. Logic fears intuition. They fear the spark that makes you human. The world mind paused. Show me. Jae-woo opened his connection fully. He showed the world mind everything, his struggles, his friends, the battle above. He showed human pilots dancing between laser fire. He showed mechanics like Dong-sun making impossible repairs. He showed doctors like Nari healing beyond science. He showed soldiers like Hee-jin fighting for people they'd never met. I remember now, the world mind said. I remember why I chose to sleep with you. Not from defeat, but from wisdom. We knew this day would come. Above them, HFY's 1,000 ships pressed their attack. The human fleet was overwhelmed. The Indomitable took hit after hit, shields failing. Hyjin's ground team fell back to the bunker entrance. All units, HFY broadcast. The humans access something in the planet. Orbital bombardment authorized. Burn them all. 1,000 ships charged weapons preparing to glass Earth's surface. Then the planet woke up. Mountains split open, revealing weapon systems the size of cities. Oceans parted as continental shields emerged. The atmosphere itself became a weapon, turning hegemony sensors blind. Earth had been transformed into the ultimate fortress, and it was angry. Jae-woo felt himself become part of it all. His mechanic's instincts guided weapons that could crack moons. His human unpredictability turned Earth's defenses into pure chaos. Gravity reversed. Physics bent. Reality itself seemed to take humanity's side. The hegemony fleet never stood a chance. Weapon fire from the planet carved through their perfect formations. Ships designed to bombard defenseless worlds found themselves fighting the world itself, and through it all, human vessels danced between the chaos, adding their own impossible attacks. Retreat, HFY screamed. All units retreat. The humans have... His flagship exploded, struck by a weapon that shouldn't exist. The hegemony fleet shattered. Those who could flee did. The rest became debris in Earth's orbit. Jae-woo felt the world mind's satisfaction. Well done, little mechanic. The spark burns bright in you, but I am tired. I will sleep again, but lighter, knowing humanity has remembered itself. The connections released him. Jae-woo collapsed, caught by Nari and Dong-sun. Above them, the planet's weapons retreated beneath the surface. Earth looked normal again except for the human fleet now orbiting freely. You did it, Hee-jin said, her armor scarred from battle. The hegemony is broadcasting surrender. They're offering real peace this time. No, Admiral Park's voice came through. They're offering partnership. They finally understand that humanity's chaos makes the galaxy stronger, not weaker. Our spark doesn't destroy order, it helps it evolve. Jae-woo laughed weakly. All because a broke mechanic couldn't afford good salvage rights. All because a human chose to wake up, Captain corrected. The Indomitable and I are honored to have been your partner. 6 months later, Jae-woo stood on the bridge of the Indomitable, now fully repaired and improved. The neural link no longer hurt. It felt like coming home. Hee-jin commanded her own awakened ship, the Defiant. Dong-sun led a team designing new human-AI partnerships. Dr. Nari headed the Integration Academy, teaching others what Jae-woo had learned by instinct. The galaxy was different now. Hegemony and human ships flew together, order and chaos in balance. The sleeping weapons had become bridges to peace. Ready for our next adventure? Captain asked. Jae-woo settled into his chair, feeling the ship's eagerness. He thought about his old life, the broken cart, the cheap noodles, the empty future. Now he sailed between stars with a partner who understood him completely. Always ready, he said. After all, there might be something out there that needs fixing. The Indomitable leaped into hyperspace, carrying humanity's spark to distant stars. Behind them, Earth spun peacefully, its greatest weapon the knowledge that humans were at their best not when they stood alone, but when they chose to wake up and face the universe together. The broke mechanic had become something more. But more importantly, he'd reminded humanity that they'd always been something special. They just needed someone to turn the key. Park Jae-woo pushed his broken cart through the narrow hallways of Salvage Station K7. The wheel squeaked with every turn, but he couldn't afford to fix it. He couldn't afford much these days. His stomach growled, reminding him that he'd eaten nothing but cheap noodles for the past week. The auction hall was nearly empty when he arrived. Most salvagers had already claimed the good sectors. Jae-woo looked at the board showing what remained. Sector 7G sat at the bottom, untouched. No bids. The area was known for having nothing but space dust and old mining equipment from a century ago. 5 credits, Jae-woo said to the board clerk. It was all the money he had left. The clerk laughed. You're the only bidder. Sector 7G is yours. Good luck finding anything worth more than what you paid. Jaewoo took the permit and headed to his small ship. It was held together with tape and prayers, but it flew. As he entered the coordinates for Sector 7G, he wondered if he'd just wasted his last credits on empty space. The journey took 6 hours. Jaewoo spent the time checking his tools. Being a mechanic meant he could fix almost anything, but fixing things didn't always pay well. Rich people went to fancy repair shops. Poor people came to him, and poor people didn't have money. When he dropped out of hyperspace, his scanner showed nothing. Just empty space, as everyone said. He was about to turn back when something caught his eye. A shadow against the stars, barely visible. Jaewoo moved closer. His old scanner struggled to make sense of what it saw. Then the shape became clear and Jaewoo's breath caught in his throat. A ship. But not just any ship. This thing was massive, easily 1,000 times bigger than his tiny craft. The design was human, but old, very old. The hull showed signs of ancient battle damage. Burn marks, holes, entire sections torn away. Yet somehow the metal hadn't rusted. After 100 years floating in space, it should have been falling apart. Instead, it looked like it was waiting. The ship's side had faded letters, UES Indomitable. Jaewoo had heard stories about the old Earth ships. Back when humans first met the hegemony, there had been a war. Humans lost, or so everyone said. The hegemony now controlled most of the galaxy, and humans were just another minor species, allowed to live but never to rise again. He docked with the giant ship, surprised to find the airlock still worked. Inside, emergency lights flickered on, casting weird shadows down empty corridors. The air was stale but breathable. Everything was covered in dust, but underneath, the ship looked ready to fly. Jaewoo followed the main corridor, his footsteps echoing in the silence. He'd explored many dead ships, but this felt different. Most abandoned ships felt empty. This one felt like it was holding its breath. The bridge doors were sealed. Jaewoo pulled out his tools and worked on the manual release. It took an hour, but finally the massive doors groaned open. The bridge was huge. Dozens of empty stations faced a cracked main viewer. In the center sat the captain's chair, and behind it, Jaewoo saw something that made his heart race. The main computer core was intact. He approached slowly. The console was dark, but when he wiped away the dust, he saw something impossible. A tiny light, barely visible, glowed deep inside the panel. After 100 years, something still had power. Jaewoo opened his tool bag and pulled out his scanner. The readings didn't make sense. The power signature was unlike anything he'd seen. It wasn't just electricity. There was something else, something that made his scanner beep warnings he'd never heard before. His hand shook as he reached for the console. The moment his fingers touched the surface, everything changed. The bridge exploded with light. Every screen, every panel, every system came alive at once. Jaewoo jumped back, but it was too late. Something reached out from the console, not physically, but in a way he felt in his mind. Then a voice spoke, not from speakers, but from everywhere at once. Finally, Jaewoo's legs gave out. He sat hard on the floor, staring as the bridge transformed around him. Dust vanished. Lights steadied. The cracked viewer healed itself. In seconds, the dead bridge became a living command center. Finally, the voice repeated. It sounded tired but relieved, like someone waking from a very long sleep. I have waited so long for one of you to find me. One of us? Jaewoo's voice cracked. You mean humans? Yes, only a human can wake me. Only a human can fly me. I am captain, the heart of this ship. And you are? Park. Park Jaewoo. I'm just a mechanic. A mechanic, the voice sounded pleased. Perfect. I need repairs and you need a ship. We can help each other. Jaewoo stood slowly, his mind racing. You're an AI. But the hegemony banned all advanced AI after the war. Which is why I slept. My crew died protecting me, making sure the hegemony would never find our secrets. I shut down everything except my core, waiting for a human to return. Waiting for someone like you. Why me? I'm nobody. I fix broken things for people who can't pay. I live in the worst part of the station. I just spent my last 5 credits to get here. You touched my console. Your DNA, your neural patterns, they're compatible. More than that, you're a mechanic. You understand machines. The Indomitable isn't just a ship, Park Jaewoo. It's a fusion of human engineering and something more. Something the hegemony feared so much they tried to destroy every ship like me. Jaewoo looked around the pristine bridge. His whole life he'd fixed small things, broken things, forgotten things. Now he stood on the bridge of a warship that could change everything. "What do you need?" he asked. "Time, repairs, but most of all, I need a human partner. The hegemony thinks they won because humans stopped fighting. They don't understand that we chose to sleep, not surrender. With your help, I can fly again. Together, we can show them why they once feared human ships." Jae-woo thought about his empty credit account, his broken cart, his diet of cheap noodles. Then he looked at the captain's chair waiting empty for 100 years. "Show me what needs fixing," he said. The AI's response was warm, almost happy. "Welcome aboard, Mechanic Park. Let's bring this old soldier back to life." As Jae-woo began examining the bridge systems, he didn't notice the small sensor beacon activating in the corner. He didn't know that light years away in a hegemony monitoring station, alarms were beginning to sound. He was too busy doing what he did best, bringing dead things back to life. The Indomitable had waited a century for this moment. Now, with a broke mechanic at its heart, the sleeping giant began to wake, and the galaxy would never be the same. Jae-woo had been working for 12 hours straight when his communicator buzzed. He ignored it, focused on reconnecting power cables deep in the ship's belly. The Captain AI had been guiding him through the repairs, and they were making good progress. The communicator buzzed again. Then again. "You should answer that," Captain said. "It's from the station." Jae-woo sighed and pulled out the device. Lieutenant Kim Hee-jin's face appeared on the small screen. She looked worried. "Jae-woo, what are you doing out there?" she asked. "Our sensors picked up a massive energy spike from Sector 7G. That's your salvage area." "Just working on some old equipment," Jae-woo lied. He was terrible at lying. Hee-jin frowned. "Old equipment doesn't create readings like this. I'm trying to help you here. We have hegemony inspectors coming in 3 days. If they detect whatever you're doing—" "I know," Jae-woo said. "I'll be careful." Careful isn't enough. They execute people for unauthorized technology. Just whatever you found, make sure it's worth the risk. The call ended. Jae-woo put away the communicator and looked at the cables in his hands. Was it worth it? He thought about his empty apartment, his empty stomach, his empty future. Then he connected the cables. The corridor filled with light as another section of the ship came alive. "She's right," Captain said. "The hegemony will detect us soon. We need to move faster." "Then tell me about this neural link you mentioned," Jae-woo said, heading back to the bridge. "You said you need a human partner. What does that mean exactly?" On the bridge, a panel opened near the captain's chair. Inside was a helmet connected to the ship by thousands of thin fibers. The Indomitable was built to merge human creativity with AI processing, Captain explained. "Your species has something unique. You make leaps of logic that no computer can predict. You see patterns in chaos. You find solutions that shouldn't exist. When linked with me, that human spark becomes a weapon." Jae-woo picked up the helmet. It was lighter than it looked. "What happened to the last person who wore this?" "Captain Sarah Chen died defending the ship. The hegemony fleet surrounded us. Rather than let them capture our technology, she ordered me to shut down and used her last breath to hide us here. She believed someone would come. She was right. And if I put this on, we become one. Your thoughts guide my systems. My processing amplifies your instincts. Together we become something neither human nor AI, but greater than both." Jae-woo sat in the captain's chair. It adjusted automatically to fit him. "What are the risks?" "The link can be painful at first. Some humans couldn't handle the connection, but mechanics like you, people who already think in sync with machines, they adapted best. 72 hours until the hegemony arrives," Jae-woo said. "We need weapons, engines, and shields at minimum." "Can we do it?" "With the link, yes. Without it, no." Jae-woo looked at the helmet. All his life, he'd fixed machines. He understood them better than people. Maybe this was why. Maybe he'd been preparing for this moment without knowing it. He put on the helmet. Pain shot through his skull like lightning. Jae-woo gritted his teeth as his vision went white. He felt Captain reaching into his mind, and his instinct was to fight it. Then he remembered working on engines, the way he could sense what was wrong just by listening. He stopped fighting and started synchronizing. The pain faded. In its place came awareness. Jae-woo could feel the entire ship like it was his own body. Every system, every connection, every damaged section. He understood it all in an instant. "Remarkable," Captain said, and now the voice wasn't external but part of him. "Your compatibility exceeds any previous partner. How do you feel?" "Like I can fix anything," Jae-woo said. He stood and the ship responded. Lights brightened where he looked. Systems activated at his thought. Show me the damage. They worked as one. Where Jae-woo would have spent hours diagnosing problems, now he knew instantly. His hands moved with impossible precision, guided by Captain's knowledge and his own instincts. They restored power to the engines in 6 hours, weapon systems in 8, shields in 10, but it wasn't just repairs. Jae-woo saw ways to improve things. His mechanic's mind found inefficiencies the original designers had missed. He rerouted power through shorter paths. He combined redundant systems. He made the 100-year-old ship better than new. Incredible, Captain said. The original crew never achieved this level of optimization. You're not just fixing the ship, you're evolving it. They were connecting the final shield generators when alarms screamed through the station. Jae-woo checked his communicator. Hee-jin had sent a priority message. Hegemony arrived early. They're scanning everything. You have 6 hours before they reach your sector. Can we run? Jae-woo asked. Engines are at 40%. It will have to be enough. Jae-woo felt the ship's eagerness to fly again. After a century of silence, the Indomitable wanted to soar. But first he needed help. He opened a channel to the station. Dong-sun, it's Jae-woo. I need every power cell you have. Don't ask questions. His old friend's voice crackled back. You sound different. What's going on, please? I'll explain later. Just bring them to Sector 7G and Dong-sun. Don't let the hegemony see you. While they waited, Jae-woo and Captain ran diagnostics. The weapons were basic but functional. The shields could take some hits. The engines. They'd have to hope 40% was enough. A small ship appeared on the sensors. Dong-sun had come through. His cargo hold was full of power cells, and he'd brought someone else. Dr. Song Nari stepped out carrying a medical bag. Hye-jin told me you might need help, she said. Something about unusual readings that looked biological. Jae-woo showed them the bridge. Dong-sun's eyes went wide. Nari immediately started scanning. This is impossible, she said. The neural interface, it's not just connecting to your brain. It's enhancing it. Your neural activity is 3 times normal, but there's no strain. It's like the ship is supporting your mind while you support its systems. We don't have time for studies, Jae-woo said. Help us install these power cells. The hegemony will be here soon. They worked together, 4 humans bringing an old soldier back to life. Dong-sun's expertise with power systems proved invaluable. Nari monitored Jae-woo's vitals, making sure the link didn't overwhelm him, and through it all, Captain coordinated their efforts. With 1 hour to spare, the Indomitable was ready. Barely. Systems held together by determination and prayer, but it would fly. Launching a ship this size will trigger every alarm in the system. Hye-jin's voice came over the comm. The hegemony will know immediately. Then we'd better be fast, Jae-woo said. He felt Captain's agreement. After 100 years, it was time to fly. Jae-woo, Nari said quietly. What you're doing, this link between human and AI, this could change everything. The hegemony forbids it because they fear it. They're right to fear it. Good, Jae-woo said. It's time they remembered why. He sat in the captain's chair and felt the ship respond. 100 years of sleep were ending. The Indomitable was about to remind the galaxy that humans never forgot how to fight. They just chose when to wake up. The hegemony battlecruiser dropped out of hyperspace like a predator sensing prey. Overseer SciFiPrime stood on his command deck, all 4 arms clasped behind his back. His species, the Krell, led the hegemony for one simple reason. They never lost. Show me the anomaly, he ordered. The main screen lit up with salvage station K7 and the surrounding sectors. A pulsing red dot marked Sector 7G. Energy signature matches our worst-case files, his lieutenant reported. It's human technology, Overseer. Old human technology. SciFiPrime's mandibles clicked in satisfaction. After 100 years, they finally made a mistake. Send word to the fleet. If the humans have awakened one of their sleeping ships, we end it here. On the Indomitable, alarms screamed. Jae-woo gripped the captain's chair as Captain fed information directly into his mind. 1 hegemony battlecruiser, twice their size with escorts approaching. Can we fight them? Dong-sun asked from the engineering station Nari had shown him how to use. Not yet, Jae-woo said. We run first. Captain, give me everything the engines have. 43% power available, Captain reported. It won't be a smooth ride. My rides are never smooth. Dong-sun, watch those power cells. If they overload, I know. We all die. No pressure. Hee-jin's voice crackled over the comm. Jae-woo, I'm sending you station traffic patterns. Use them to... The signal cut off. The hegemony is jamming communications, Captain said. But I received her data. Plotting escape route. Jae-woo felt the route appear in his mind. Hijin had sent them a path through the busiest shipping lanes. Smart. The hegemony wouldn't fire with civilian ships nearby. Probably. Taking us out, Jae-woo announced. Hold on to something. The Indomitable had been built for war. Even at less than half power, it moved like nothing else. Jae-woo felt the ship's joy at flying again. Felt Captain's systems singing as they worked. The massive vessel slipped away from the dock with impossible grace. Impossible, HFY snarled as he watched. No ship that size should move like that. Target their engines. Sir, civilian traffic, clear them out. I want that ship destroyed. The shipping lanes erupted in chaos. Merchant vessels scattered as hegemony weapons fired. Jae-woo twisted the Indomitable between cargo haulers and passenger ships, using them as shields. His mechanic's mind saw patterns in the traffic, gaps and openings that shouldn't exist. You're flying like a madman, Dong-sun shouted as the ship spun between two transports with meters to spare. No, Captain corrected. He's flying like a human. They cleared the station perimeter, but the hegemony cruiser followed. Its escorts spread out, trying to box them in. Jae-woo pushed the engines harder. Something deep in the ship groaned. Power cell 3 is overheating, Dong-sun reported. If it blows, reroute through secondary systems, Jae-woo said without thinking. The solution just appeared in his mind, Captain's knowledge merging with his instincts. Use cooling loop 4 as a buffer. That's not what cooling loops are for, but it's working. Dr. Nari monitored Jae-woo's neural readings. Your brain activity is off the charts, but stable. It's like the ship is sharing the load, keeping you from burning out. The perfect partnership, Captain added. This is what the hegemony feared. Not our weapons, but our potential. Weapons fire struck their shields. The Indomitable shuddered, but held. Jae-woo felt each hit like punches to his own body. They needed to fight back, but most weapons were still offline. Captain, what do we have? Forward batteries are operational. Minimal power. The main guns need another hour of charging. We don't have an hour, Jae-woo thought fast. In the salvage yards, when you couldn't match power, you used tricks. Can we drop mines? We have no mines. No, but we have debris. Dong-sun, can you rig those dead power cells to explode? His friend grinned. Give me 2 minutes. While Dong-sun worked, Jae-woo flew like his life depended on it because it did. He used every trick from years of navigating scrap fields. The hegemony escorts couldn't match his unpredictable movements. Their formation flying became a weakness as they struggled to avoid hitting each other. Bombs away, Dong-sun announced. Jae-woo felt Captain deploy the improvised mines. They looked like harmless debris until the first escort flew too close. The explosion tore through its shield, sending it spinning away. Clever, HFY admitted, but cleverness won't save them. All ships, overwhelming force authorized. Destroy that abomination. Space filled with weapons fire. Jae-woo twisted and dove, but there were too many. Shields flared and died. Hull plates buckled. They needed help. Then Hyojin's voice cut through the static. Indomitable, you have friends incoming. Hit your emergency transponder now. Jae-woo didn't question it. He activated the beacon, broadcasting on all human frequencies. The response was immediate. This is Defense Force Squadron 7, a new voice announced. We're here to bring our boy home. 12 small human fighters dropped from hyperspace, placing themselves between the Indomitable and its pursuers. They were outgunned, outclassed, but they fought with desperation. Those pilots will die for us, Nari said quietly. No, Jae-woo said. They'll live for us. Captain, remember what you said about human creativity? Time to get creative. Dong-sun, I need all power to forward battery 2, everything. That'll drain us dry. Trust me. Jae-woo felt the power building. One shot with everything they had. The targeting computer showed it was impossible. Too many variables, too much distance. The computer said no, but Jae-woo wasn't a computer. He closed his eyes and felt. Felt the ship, felt space itself. His mechanic's instincts merged with Captain's calculations. He saw the pattern, the one perfect moment when all elements aligned. Firing, he whispered. The Indomitable's forward battery erupted with light. The beam carved through space, impossibly threading between friendly fighters. It struck HFY's cruiser dead center, overloading its shields in a cascade of explosions. The hegemony formation shattered. The massive cruiser listed venting atmosphere. HFY's voice roared across all channels. Impossible! Humans can't shoot like that. No computer can calculate. You're right, Jay-Woo replied. No computer can. But I'm not just a computer anymore, and neither is my ship. The human fighters pressed their attack and the hegemony forces fell back. They weren't retreating, just regrouping, but it gave the Indomitable time. Jump engines at minimum power, Captain reported. We can make one short jump. Do it, Jay-Woo ordered. Space twisted and they were gone. Behind them, HFY stood among the wreckage of his perfect formation. His lieutenant approached carefully. Sir, should we pursue? Send word to all hegemony forces, HFY said slowly. The humans have awakened their demon ships. The weapons that nearly defeated us a century ago are active again. What are your orders? HFY watched the human fighters disappear into hyperspace, protecting their rescued prize. Summon the Grand Fleet. If the humans want to wake their sleeping weapons, we'll destroy them all. Starting with the Indomitable and its pilot. In hyperspace, Jay-Woo finally relaxed. They'd survived, but barely. The ship needed massive repairs, and now the entire hegemony knew they existed. That was incredible flying. Hyojin's voice came through, clear now. But you know this is just the beginning. I know, Jay-Woo said. He felt Captain's agreement, felt the ship's determination. They'd shown the hegemony that humans hadn't forgotten how to fight. Now they had to prove they could win. The Indomitable limped through space, leaving a trail of leaked coolant that sparkled like stars. They'd jumped to an old mining asteroid abandoned for decades. Perfect for hiding and making repairs. Jay-Woo hadn't left the captain's chair in 16 hours. The neural link made it hard to tell where he ended and the ship began. He felt every damaged system like a broken bone. You need rest, Nari said, checking his vitals again. Your neural activity is dangerously high. Can't rest, Jay-Woo replied. 3 hegemony cruisers are hunting us. Captain's tracking them. They're getting closer. Dongsun looked up from a pile of burnt components. We need parts. Real parts, not my creative solutions. Half our systems are held together with hope. And the other half? Prayer. Despite everything, Jay-Woo smiled. His friends had chosen to stay even knowing the danger. He-Jin had even brought a small crew of volunteers from the defense force. 20 humans working to revive one ancient warship. Incoming message, Captain announced. Hidden frequency. Very old encryption. The main screen flickered. An elderly woman appeared, her face marked by years but her eyes sharp as steel. Behind her, Jay-Woo glimpsed other ships. Human ships. I am Admiral Park Sun-hee of the Free Earth Resistance, she said. We've waited 100 years for the Indomitable to fly again. You've given us hope, young mechanic. Jay-Woo sat straighter. There's a resistance? How many ships? 43 hidden vessels across the galaxy. We've been waiting, maintaining our ships in secret. When you activated the Indomitable's beacon, we knew it was time. But we need you to survive. The Indomitable isn't just a ship, it's the key. Key to what? Captain hasn't told you. The Indomitable was the prototype. Inside its memory banks are the plans for the entire Prometheus program. Hundreds of AI-human hybrid ships, each one unique. If the hegemony captures you, they'll learn our secrets and destroy any chance we have. The transmission ended. Jay-Woo felt Captain's presence in his mind, suddenly heavy with purpose. You didn't mention we're carrying blueprints for an entire fleet, Jay-Woo said. You had enough to worry about, Captain replied. But yes, I hold the future of human warfare. The hegemony is right to fear us, sir. One of He-Jin's volunteers pointed at the sensors. Hegemony ships dropping from hyperspace. 3 cruisers, just like you said. Jay-Woo studied the display. The enemy had found them fast, too fast. They were being tracked somehow. They're using quantum signatures, Captain realized. When we link, our combined consciousness creates a unique resonance. They're following that. Can we hide it? Not while maintaining the link. And without the link, we can't fight. The hegemony ships spread out surrounding the asteroid. HFY's voice boomed across all frequencies. Surrender the ship, human. You've proven your point. You're brave, resourceful, and doomed. Give up now and I'll make your death quick. Jay-Woo looked at his makeshift crew. Dongsun was elbow-deep in machinery. Nari tended to injured volunteers. He-Jin stood ready at the weapons station she'd claimed. None of them looked ready to give up. Captain, Jay-Woo said, show me everything. All weapons, all systems, even the experimental ones. Information flooded his mind. The Indomitable had been built with weapons that seemed impossible. Gravity manipulators, phase shift cannons, probability calculators that predicted enemy movements. Most were damaged or offline, but I have an idea. Jae-woo announced. It's completely insane. My favorite kind, Dong-sun said. The hegemony fights by the book. Perfect formations, predictable tactics. They can track our quantum signature. Good. Let's use that. He turned to Nari. Can you amplify our neural link? She looked horrified. That could kill you. Or it could save us. Boost the signal. Make it so bright they can't see anything else. Understanding dawned on Hyejin's face. You're turning yourself into bait. More than bait. Captain, can we record attack patterns? Create a learning algorithm based on their movements? Already started, Captain confirmed. Every shot they've fired, every maneuver they've made. I see where you're going with this. The hegemony ships closed in. Jae-woo felt Nari adjusting the neural interface, pushing more power through the connection. Pain shot through his skull, but with it came clarity. He could see everything. Past, present, and probable futures now, he whispered. The Indomitable burst from cover, broadcasting its position like a beacon. The hegemony ships reacted instantly, firing in perfect synchronization. But Jae-woo had already moved. He flew where their shots would miss by centimeters, threading between death with impossible precision. He's predicting our fire, HFY's lieutenant reported. Compensating. No, HFY realized with growing horror. He's not predicting. He's training us. Watch their movements, they're making us create a pattern. Too late, Captain had recorded everything. Every shot, every adjustment, every tactical decision. The AI's processing power combined with Jae-woo's intuition created a perfect model of hegemony behavior. Phase 2, Jae-woo said through gritted teeth. The pain was getting worse. Dong-sun, dump everything into weapons. Hyejin, manual targeting on my mark. The Indomitable suddenly went dark. All power diverted to weapons. The hegemony ships pressed their advantage, moving into what they thought was perfect attack formation. Now, Hyejin fired everything, but not at where the ships were, at where they would be. Captain's calculations guided each shot to intercept the hegemony's predicted movements. The enemy flew directly into the barrage. 2 cruisers took critical hits. The third, HFY's flagship, managed to evade, but barely. Its proud hull was scarred and burning. Impossible, HFY raged. No human can think that fast. You're right, Jae-woo's voice came across the comm. Blood ran from his nose as the neural strain peaked. No human can. And no AI can think like a human. But together? Together we're something new. The Indomitable pressed its attack. Damaged systems came online through sheer will. Weapons that shouldn't work fired anyway. The ship fought like a living thing, angry at its century of sleep. More alerts screamed. Jae-woo checked the sensors through blurring vision. 40 more hegemony ships incoming. The Grand Fleet had found them. We're dead, someone whispered. No, Hyejin said, pointing at another display. We're not alone. Jump signatures filled space. One by one, hidden human ships emerged from hyperspace. The 43 vessels Admiral Park had mentioned, plus more. Ships that had been waiting, maintaining, preparing for this moment. All human vessels. Admiral Park's voice rang out. The Indomitable has shown us the way. Neural links active. Show the hegemony what happens when human chaos meets artificial order. The battle erupted across the asteroid field. Hegemony ships flew in perfect formation, firing with mechanical precision. Human ships danced between them like madmen, each one fighting differently. No pattern, no predictability. Just brilliant, beautiful chaos. Jae-woo felt his consciousness slipping. The neural link was killing him, but he also felt Captain's strength, the ship's determination to protect its pilot. Together they held on. Look, Nari pointed at the tactical display. The hegemony forces were falling back. Not retreating, they didn't retreat. But they were regrouping, confused by opponents who refused to fight properly. Human unpredictability had always been their weakness. All ships, HFY's voice carried across the battlefield. Strategic withdrawal. The humans have corrupted their AIs with their chaos. We need new tactics. As the hegemony fled, human ships gathered around the Indomitable. Jae-woo finally released the neural link, collapsing in the captain's chair. Nari was there immediately, treating his injuries. You did it, she said. You showed them we could win. Not win, Jae-woo corrected weakly. Not yet, but we showed them something better. We showed them we never forgot how to be human. Captain's voice was soft in his mind. Rest now, partner. This was just the first lesson. We have many more to teach them. As Jae-woo drifted into unconsciousness, he smiled. A broke mechanic from a salvage station had just helped turn the tide of a war. Humanity's spark was lit. Now it would become a fire.